Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Round Robin. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with Christine Mulligan, Nina Mulligan, and a surprise guest, Todd Preston. Hey, everyone.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Yep. Do you remember that guy? There's a big old accident at work tonight, so Todd didn't have to go to work.
Yep, I got the night off, and I get paid for it, too, so.
Win.
Yep.
Love it. So, I love Food Network. I love Food. I love making new recipes.
I love your food.
I know. I love it, too. One person who doesn't love it is my teenage daughter.
Oh, she doesn't love anything unless it's got sugar in it.
So anyway, Food Network took a big hit this week.
Really?
Yeah. Anne Burrell.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Anne Burrell is? Or was, I should say. She was...
I have really never seen her in action, but I know who she is based on her face and, remembering her being in commercials for a show that she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I've ever really watched her. But I have seen the blurbs on TikToks now speculating that it was more than natural and that there's an investigation into her death going on.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to, Nina, because, she started out doing where you have 4 or 5 chefs. She was actually started out as a sous chef. She had that iconic white, short, spiked hair.
Yeah.
She had the crazy hair. And she was really fun. She was really good. Well, then from there, she ended up getting a show of her own. Or co-hosting, and the show that you probably saw, Nina, or may have heard about was Worst Cooks in America. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember who her co-host was, but, oh man, these people, they were terrible. They couldn't cook worth a shit, so her reactions were pretty fun. And that show was cool because it would start off they had 2 teams, so 2 co-hosts, 2 teams, and they would each show them the recipe. This is how you cook it, make your notes. And it was just how they ended up doing what they did was crazy because it was nowhere near how they were taught to do it. So anyway, Tuesday morning, this past Tuesday, just before 8 o'clock in the morning, there was an anonymous call that was made reporting an unresponsive, unconscious female in her apartment or in a apartment in Brooklyn. So fire rescue gets there, and they pronounce her dead on the scene. She's 55. Now, here's what boggles my mind now, because Tuesday, I saw the first article about it, and I was like, who would make an anonymous call? And how would they know there was an unconscious, unresponsive woman in an apartment had they not been in the apartment?
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Well, I don't know. It depends on where she lived in New York, you say?
She lived in an apartment in Brooklyn.
All right. Well, did they say if any of her windows, the drapes were open? Because any one of her neighbors could have seen her from across the street or 2 blocks away. They could have seen her drop.
Yeah, there's none of that information. But here's the thing. When they traced the call, it came from that apartment.
Oh.
Aha.
Right. That's usually good.
Aha.
Aha.
Aha. All right. So, and since I caught that first article, I have not seen another one that says that. So I don't know what in the hell's going on. But here's what I find very, very interesting. So that was one article. Then another article I read said that they found her down in the shower, and there were a lot of pills about. Here's where my malice brain is kicking in. She has not been married for long, just a handful of years. She met her husband on Bumble,
which is a
you,
dating site.
You said that with such a resonance, like it was going to mean something. What does that mean?
Well, I gotta say, I was kind of surprised that she was married to a man, if I'm gonna be honest. I was like,
right.
Does she know? I don't think she knows. But,
right. Well, I mean, I guess it's surprising because, first of all, you got a lot of, I don't think Bumble is a great, respectable, I think of Plenty of Fish when I think of Bumble.
Yeah. And it's strange, what's a celebrity looking for love on a dating site
On Bumble, of all. I don't know. I could be, because I'm thinking you got crazy guys out there on these websites. And this guy happens to get so lucky he meets up with Anne Burrell. They met up in 2018, and either they were married in 2019 or 2020. So kind of like what we've talked about in the past, Christine, like anyone who just meets you and it's like, boom, we're getting married real quick. Like how many shows on ID have I watched where you meet, it's a quick marriage, and then boom, within a couple of years or, a year, 6 months, they're dead.
Murder.
She was worth $4 million.
So, are you afraid for my life?
Excuse me, a murder?
Just know I'm keeping an eye on you.
We're watching your every move.
We're watching you, Nina.
Well, I'm sorry, but that would be like the hugest detriment to me. I mean, that's like kicking the gift horse in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so let everybody know I'm just a sucker. I'm just a patsy. I'm not murder quality. I'm a full-on sucker.
Well, listen, now I'm not saying all relationships that start off. I mean, sometimes when you meet the one and you know it, right? Boom, right then, right there. I think that's your story. But
Yeah, okay. The thing is that's just,
Being silly, but yeah,
that's just giving it to fodder, though, because everything's 20/20 hindsight, right?
Yeah.
true.
So we have all those things. Like we have the saying of when you know, it happens fast sometimes. And then after shit goes wrong, everybody's like, oh, yeah, that was fishy.
Yeah, we told you.
That was highly sus.
right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just saying she was worth $4 million. She didn't have any children.
Wow.
I think this dude had a kid though.
Oh, so you're already solving the murder that you think he did it with a candlestick in the library because he wanted her money?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, but bathroom with the pills, I think.
Yeah, in the bathroom with the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing the candlestick in the library, so people got the joke.
Yeah, I know that. Clue is my
playing a game of
most
Clip.
favorite board game of all time. Slow your roll.
Murder mystery.
You slow your roll. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's the husband.
Or the drug
Well,
dealer.
where was he? What's his alibi? Where's he at? Are they estranged?
No, they're not estranged. They're still married or were married, but nobody was in the apartment. And I just before we did the show, I got on again. Nobody's saying jack shit about this guy. Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got a solid alibi. Maybe he was like in Australia.
I'm kind of leaning toward the drug dealer because
Oh my God, Judgy McJudgerson.
Didn't we?
What is wrong with Bumble? I'm still not getting your connection here, Miss Judge Pants.
I don't trust it. Anyway, go ahead, Todd.
I'm leaning toward the drug dealer because we watched a movie where there was somebody that was involved with drugs that couldn't be around drugs anymore. They went to this apartment. The person overdosed, and they made the call.
Are you talking Pulp Fiction?
No, it's not Pulp Fiction. It was the Smiley Face, the Smile, that movie.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
And the girl, and she went to this apartment, and the dude was like totally overdosing. She's like, so she called and said, dude's dead here, but...
Did she call?
Wow.
No, I think she got the hell out of there.
Well, she had to bail, yeah, because...
She was a singer.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys like just right off the cuff? Do you think it was the husband?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this woman. So it definitely, now that you say that the call came from within the house, that's highly sus. So there's that. However, how do you know she has a drug dealer?
They were probably prescription pills. I don't know. They just said there were a lot of pills in that bathroom. strewn about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why are you already painting her as a junkie with the drug dealer?
I'm not painting her as a junkie. Todd
That's the
did.
thing, though. Like, I can't imagine it won't. I wouldn't understand why. Like, who goes into the shop? Why are there pills everywhere?
Yeah.
Like,
well, maybe
that seems like a stage thing that's weird. I mean,
see?
I don't get that.
Well, maybe she was a little bit overzealous with her rightfully prescribed pill taking. Maybe she over imbibed sometimes with the pills. And perhaps, all right, I'm going to throw my theory out there. Perhaps, and this is going on a vibe. Perhaps she had one too many pills, and then whoever she was with was arguing with her, looking through all of her pills, being like, what did you take? What did you take? Well, what can we counteract it with? And it's a frantic thing. They have this whole big thing, and then she passes out, and that person panics and says, I don't want nothing to do with this because, oh, by the way, maybe their lovers are having an affair or something. So that person was like, I don't want to mess up and get her divorced and have her lose half her millions. So I'm just going to bounce, but I'm going to call the ambulance for you and you'll be okay. And they left thinking that she was going to be okay. But because it was one too many pills and a little bit too long for the emergency room to get to, for emergency people to get to her, that's it. Curtain close.
Case solved.
End scene.
I think the most natural or the first place, obviously, that they look at is the spouse or the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there isn't one of those that's an ex-boyfriend or ex-spouse. I mean, like those are like generally the first people they kind of, you know, steer towards. But I think I would have to understand her, and I would want to talk to her friends. Because if I was going to go the direction of the husband, I would want to see if her demeanor changed once she started dating this guy and then got wrapped up and married quickly with him.
But they were married for years, though, no?
They married in 2019. They met in 2018. So 2019, 2020, they were married. So they've only been married
we're
a
talking
few
8 years.
years. No, we're not. We're talking 4 years.
4 years.
4 years, 5 years tops.
It's 2025 right now, people.
Right.
2018
They-
was 7 years ago.
They met in 2018 and married in either 2019 or 2020.
Okay, so they were married for 6 years, together for 7. If it was raucous and going bad, her friends are gonna know something.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would
Yeah.
talk to their friends and I would see like how her demeanor changed towards him. You know, like how was their marriage or how was her behavior, you know?
Right.
Sense of where that was. But I mean, first and foremost, where was he?
And Tracy, you jump into the husband just because she met them on Bumble. That would pan out if they were only together for a couple of months. But the fact that they've been together for 6 years, come on.
He's riding the golden pots.
He's still riding them.
Yeah.
And he's still gonna, because he's our only heir.
Yeah. See, now that's what would be interesting is, was he her beneficiary? Did it take him a few years to even become the beneficiary?
Oh, you know me. I'm usually going to say it's always all about the money.
Yep.
That's always the biggest motive.
Yep.
But I don't know about this one. You don't even know where the husband was. So as far as I'm concerned, he was in a different country.
All right. Well, I'm still saying it's the husband. There is an autopsy ongoing, or it's already occurred, but they haven't released anything. So I don't know. I'm seeing it's super sus, and I'm going with the husband.
It's a setup. They're trying to make it look like a drug overdose, but
It's not.
it's not.
Because why would you put her in the shower, throw the pills about, and call for help? Because why wouldn't you help her?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, so we'll follow up on that once we find out what the autopsy findings are.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm totally out of my mind.
That's already a given, but you're saying maybe you're wrong about this story. Okay. Got it.
We'll see. Anyway, I'm sad to hear about it. She was cool. So anyway,
Well, it's always sad to hear about anybody dying.
It
Forget
is.
about murdered. That's a whole different twisted thing. But you fuckers love all that crap. So here we are.
Here we are. We'll talk about murder. Here's another one. Did you guys hear about the Taylor Swift beach house issue?
No.
What happened at Tay-Tay's house?
Yeah.
They found the body like a mile down the beach from her house.
A leg.
So they immediately
A leg.
took it to Tay-Tay.
Yeah, it wasn't really that close to her.
It was a mile. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was announced publicly on June 13th that there was, well, first it was like, oh, there's human remains near Taylor Swift's house. This house is amazing, by the way. I saw pictures of it. It's like, holy shit, no wonder she goes there for inspiration to write. So the remains turned out to be a leg bone. That belonged to a 31-year-old guy named Eric Wayne. Now, he lived in Massachusetts. I hope I said that right. I think I did.
You did pretty good.
It's one of my hardest words.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Not Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Nope, there's a Massachusetts, and that's where he's from. Anyway, so this guy apparently went missing on April 18th of 2025. And then days after he disappeared, his car was found in South Kingston, Rhode Island on April 10th. The remains were found on May 14th, again, less than a mile from Taylor's beachfront mansion. And police say that there was no foul play. And I'm like,
What?
Hold up.
How do you lose
All we
a
have
leg?
is a leg bone. Where is the rest of this body? And at 31 years old, I mean, okay, so from April to June 13th, we've got about 2 months there. 2 months. How does a 31-year-old just, like, you know, I don't know.
Well,
I just lost my leg.
His car was found in Kingston, you said. So
Yeah.
Is there a beach in Kingston? Is Kingston on the water?
Okay, well, Rhode Island is on the water. It's just a teeny tiny little place.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean Kingston is.
Okay,
Like,
but-
what I'm saying is, where did he park his car? Was it close enough for him to walk to the beach, jump into the water, and get eaten by a shark? That's my question.
How do we know it's his leg if we don't have the rest of his body?
DNA testing.
DNA, baby.
What does he match it against? They don't have the rest of his body.
They must have his DNA on file, or maybe they matched it to a brother
Yeah, it's on
or
the
a
water.
sister, and they figured out that he's missing.
Right. So, or it could have been, you know, a piece of hair from a hairbrush or from his toothbrush or whatever. I don't know. I just find this very interesting. They're like, oh, nope. No foul play. Everything's fine.
Well,
Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're assuming he went into the water of his own accord.
Yeah.
it's inland. Kingston is.
Kingston is
Okay.
inland.
So then that changes shit. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Was he like, that's what I meant. Like, was he parking near the beach and going into the water by himself and a shark ate him and spit out a bone? Or if it's in inlands, then that changes crap dramatically.
Todd just
So
showed
how
me
is
the
there no
map.
foul play if all we got is a bone?
Yeah. Where's the rest of the body? So I call bullshit. Something's not
Yeah,
right.
There's no foul play.
No.
People just lose their legs. That's probably how he died.
That's
His leg fell off, and you know that's like totally normal.
Yeah. Don't look over there. It's all good. Taylor, you're fine. There were actually some young hooligans that were busted right around this time, too, because, you know, they were throwing beer bottles and whatnot, like the same time this guy was found. But, you know, they said they questioned them, and no, they were just walking on the beach, being an annoyance. So, I don't know. Interesting. We're not going to hear much more of this because there's no foul play.
There's no foul play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that is the power of money.
Mhm.
They were like a mile too close to the manse. So let's just throw something at that where we leave him in a trance. See?
Yeah.
The manse has the trance power.
The trans power. Well, I also came across, now this is no murder. We started off with murder and then another one. which I'm sure both of these were. But I came across this article on SciTech Daily. Now, this was published in April of 2012, but I just found this very interesting. So in a South African cave, and they showed a picture of this cave. It's massive. Massive. It's huge. Anyway, they found some ash deep down in this cave, and what they're saying is it points to humans building fires and cooking food over 1 million years ago, so far longer than we thought man discovered fire.
Huh.
Now, this is what I found was like super interesting. So according to the article, Francesco Berna, he's an archaeologist at Boston University in Massachusetts. Anyway, he and his team found this ash, and it was composed of burnt grass, leaves, and bone fragments. Okay. So there were sediments 30 meters deep inside. They call it the Wonderwork Cave in northern Cape, South Africa. And apparently this cave is one of the oldest sites of human habitation, with traces of humans as far back as 2 million years ago. Now, this is what I find very, very interesting. They said the ash, so they're analyzing the ash, and the ash had jagged edges on it. Interesting, right?
What does that mean?
Well, apparently that implies it wasn't burned elsewhere and blown into. Like, perhaps a lightning struck something and it caught on fire, and then with wind, it could like blow into this cave. So then if we think about it, anything that's burnt and these little bits of ash are rolling, softening the edges.
Right.
Right, Christine? Like rocks in a river.
Right. They get weathered.
They get rounded. So these ashes are clearly have not done that because they have jagged edges. And then I started thinking about all the fires that we've ever had. And if you look at those ashes, right, they are kind of sharp.
Right.
For an ash.
For an ash.
Yep. I just thought that was super, super, super interesting.
I just want to say that your ash could have a Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I just think it's so crazy that, anybody believes history at all. Like, I mean, if we really get down to the nitty gritty, we are actually like super arrogant for even believing that we are the first type of people. And like, how do we not know those caves don't go into the middle world where all those other people are?
What are you talking about?
Yes.
What are you
What?
What I'm saying
I don't even know what you're saying.
What I'm
Too many
saying
wines.
is that we could be living next to a parallel reality and not even know it. We assume that there's nothing, and we think that there's magma in there and all that kind of stuff. What if that's the people's like nuclear energy, and that's how they run their world?
You are not making any kind of sense.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Pause. Rewind.
But
Let's start.
you know what?
That's why they were in the caves. They were like the prequel to the people above.
You made
Because
me
there's
forget.
already people below. And the people below came first.
Oh.
We think we came first. We didn't. It was the people below that did.
Well, how about this, Nina? I'm riding your train.
Okay, thank you.
I'm with you.
I'm not crazy.
How about aliens?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hang on a second, Tracy. How is your personal cell trying to FaceTime my personal cell?
I think I accidentally touched something. I just hung up.
That's weird. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That was weird.
Like, what? Who the hell is calling my personal phone, and how is it going to my personal phone? Because my personal phone is forwarded to my work phone, and then it just started vibrating, and then I looked at it, and it's you.
That's super weird. I must have accidentally hit the FaceTime button.
Like Tracy from the future timeline.
Oh God.
It's Tracy from the alternate universe.
That's right. But it could
See,
be.
At least, Trace, at least we're besties in all timelines. I guess
See?
that's good.
We've always been together.
Okay, we've got so far off track. I don't even remember what the hell you were talking about before I made your Ash two shits joke.
The aliens down in the cave.
had to have been made there because the edges of the ash are jagged and not smooth. Meaning it could not have produced somewhere else.
But
and
spontaneous
blown in there.
Right, but spontaneous combustion is actually a thing.
It is.
And also chemical reactions will burn crap just like fire does.
Millions of years ago.
So, Christine, are you saying a cave alien spontaneously combusted?
That's me talking about aliens. That's not me talking about aliens. Trust. I don't think we're the only species, habitating in the universe. I that would be hella naive, I think, but also very narcissistic to think that humans are the only beings. When you look around, and at my feet right now, I have 500 pounds of dog. So, they're there. So if dogs are here, and ducks are here, and eggs and all the things are here, and we're here, I would imagine on all these other planets that we know about, there's something there as well. We just can't see them. So I'm not saying that I don't believe in aliens. I'm just saying not as strongly as my wife believes they won't walk among us.
Well, here's something to think about. In Antarctica, they are picking up sounds right now that they've never heard before.
Oh, I totally believe that.
Yes, because they're coming up from below.
See?
To help us because we're killing the earth. And they're like, damn it, now we gotta come out from below and help you knuckleheads again. Because if you look at any time in history, there has been an abrupt revolution of some sort that propels man forward. And it's generally around times of great peril and war or civilizations colliding with one another. That's when these guys come up and they're like, ugh, okay, you're not doing it right. They're like guardians of the galaxy, but they live in the earth. And they come out and they help us out every once in a while because we're just not getting shit right.
Oh, all right. I'll come back.
Because they're at a different frequency. Like their energy.
Oh, I definitely believe the different frequencies.
Yeah, their energy is higher than ours because they've done more life cycles, and so they've taken on the role of being guardians.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Total and complete silence.
Okay, I hear you. Valid. Your reality is your reality, my love.
Hey, I'm just.
I'm with you, Nina. I already told you that. I'm with you.
It's plausible.
It's plausible.
It's plausible. There we go.
Yep.
Plausibility.
Yep.
Actually, we're going to talk about shows later. It's also plausible that the animated series that I'm watching and that I'll talk about later is plausible too. And if anybody ever watches it, it's kind of dumb, but I'm watching it. If anybody ever watches it, they'll laugh and they'll chuckle when they remember that I say it was plausible. It's cartoon land. But okay, it's out there.
It's out there.
It exists in cartoon form, but it exists.
That's right. All right. So remember last week we talked about the misconception with great whites and their fins having anti-cancer properties in them, but they can get cancer. So that's a no-go. Well, I read an article, and this was posted on June 17th, 2025, written by Jenny Lehman. And in this article, she states they're studying bats now. So bats, did you know they live for 20 to 40 years? I talked about this
yesterday
at your parents' place, right? So they can live for 20 to 40 years, and they feel that the environmental stress and predators and all that stuff is it's unheard of for animals of this size to live this long. So they're thinking they can't get cancer.
But that doesn't make sense because their shit literally causes cancer.
Yeah.
But they don't get cancer.
Right. See?
Their guarana.
So is it like us where they take in oxygen and create carcinogens, where we take in oxygen and cause carbon dioxide? Which is also a poison, technically.
Right. So I'm just saying, these bats better watch out.
Duh, because all the bats are vampires. They are people. Okay.
No more whining. wine for you.
Oh. It sounded like Nina was falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
Is it red wine tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
She loves the sweet red wine, and it's super cheap. She gets it at Publix. It's like, what, $18 a bottle? Or
$11.99.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Ka-ching.
$11.99. Sometimes it's $14.99, but it was on sale this time.
I thought it said $18.99.
No, it hasn't been $18.99 ever.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's less than $20.
I
It's
wouldn't
a
spend
bargain.
that much.
So what kind is it?
Well, at some of the restaurants we go to, one glass of wine is $20. So
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
great.
bottle it's a deal. It's a
It's
bargain.
called Roscato.
Oh,
Roscato,
yeah.
yes. That's
It's red Moscato. She loves it. A
It's
little
like
too much.
communion with a kick. That's what I say.
chameleon with a kick.
Communion. not
Oh, communion, sorry. See, it was a good chameleon. All right. Well, that's all the quirky news I've got for you guys.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't understand what you were talking about, how little things can't live that long. Because I have a 21-year-old weenie Chewini that is still kicking it. He's still walking around. So I don't know. You said little things shouldn't live that long?
Well, up to 50 years, though.
Yeah, your little Chewini's not kicking it for another 30 years.
Yeah.
From
my
from
God.
your mouth.
Let's hope
you know,
not.
It makes it sound like we don't love him. We do love him, and we baby him, and we take care of him.
Of
But
course.
oh my God, it's so much work these days. It's so much work on this little dog. It's 21 years old. Rest easy now. Rest easy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Chappa.
You can let go.
You know what? Go ahead. Follow the light.
Yep. There's a rainbow over there, Trappa.
Yeah. Literally, all of the kids that this dog belonged to are now all off on their own, living their own adult lives.
Having their own dogs.
Exactly, having dogs of their own, and I still am left with their dog. I don't understand what's happening.
You know what? Whenever I think of Trappa, and I have to say it just like you, I will never say Trapper. It's always Trappa. When I think about that tough ass little dog, because you have ginormous dogs, and Trappa will fuck them up. No teeth, tongue hanging out.
It's the little ones. That's how Buddy is with our guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. Well, he's even smaller than Buddy.
Yeah.
You saw Trappa.
I saw Trappa.
Yeah, he rules the roost like a grumpy old man that he is.
Yeah, he does. I love that.
And
That
that's what I was
toothless
thinking.
dog.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about when she was talking about bats. She said something about little things don't live long, and my mind went instinctively just to Trapper.
Yeah.
Like, you say these things to me, but they're not true.
Right.
Well, maybe it's something to do, because parrots are small.
And they
And they
live
live
for like
90
75
something years sometimes, don't they?
Oh, that's another thing.
So maybe it has
The
to
bird.
do with the weight of the body, because there's not a lot of physical stress on them because their bones are lighter, and
Yeah.
that's
another reason.
there's not a lot of predators that they have to run away from. In the sense of bats. What are eating bats?
I don't
Probably
think
owls.
anything.
I'm sure
I don't
owls
think
are
so.
eating bats.
I'm sure they could, but I think owls are trying for rodents and stuff before
I
they're
think the
trying
bats
for
would hear the
bat is a
owls
flying
coming.
the bat.
I think the bats would probably sonar that an owl was coming, though.
Yeah, no matter how quiet the owl is,
Yeah.
that bat knows. It's like, nope.
Yep. They got that.
Yeah.
Radar.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, what predator is eating a parrot? Every time I
Bigger
see
birds.
parrots, they're just
No.
in big flocks, and they're having a great time. They're just going around and flying. So maybe it's because they're.
When's the last time
It's
you were in an
very
Amazonian jungle? I need to know these things because I had no recollection of you ever telling me the story of when you visited the Amazon. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying,
You mean when you see parrots in the Navy area at a fucking zoo? What are you talking about?
When were you in the Amazonian?
Show where they're like, look at this beautiful parrot. Oh, it's just beautiful.
What are you watching?
Here we are at the zoo, the parrot's natural habitat.
No. I know.
I've never seen a documentary where a parrot gets eaten.
Everything is not on documentary.
Well, let me Google it up. Let's find out.
Todd's gonna Google it.
Todd's gonna do.
Todd's gonna do Google.
I feel like in my lifetime I would have seen something like that.
Parrots get eaten by larger birds. That's why they talk about when you have pet birds, if they get out, they're as good as dead. Because A, they're not, of the wild, so they don't know where to get food and water and all that stuff. But really, primarily, is larger prey birds.
Right.
There are tons of prey
I'm
birds.
not saying it's the truth.
Okay,
Snakes.
Todd's got some info.
So just like Christine,
Hold
so
on,
you got the
Todd's-
raptors, you got the hawks and the eagles. They will hunt. They will hunt the parrots. Also, you got snakes, pythons, and boas. They're coming to get the parrots. Monkeys and jaguars.
A monkey will get that bird.
Yep.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, they eat birds?
Yeah. Monkeys eat anything.
Oh, I thought
Monkeys
they ate
eat other
dates
monkeys.
and fruits and stuff.
Yeah, but when they're hungry, monkey do what a monkey do. Monkey see, monkey eat, monkey.
This is why we have these
Monkey see monkey,
conversations.
monkey eat monkey.
Because these are the thoughts in my brain. And then you can say, no, that's not right.
Okay,
And then I
well,
learned something. It's like Sesame Street.
not really, hardly ever, but okay.
Oh my God. All right.
All right, so.
So I think what we should move on to is our round robin recommendations.
Well, let me just explain to the listeners that must have been what triggered me, because I'm scarred about little things living too long. Little things living too long is what my children left me with. They left me with a Chiweenie dog that's 21 and a bird that's going to live till it's 50. I'm not going to live till the bird is 50. Okay? So you triggered me with telling me these falsehoods about how crazy it is that little things live too long.
No, they're saying that they shouldn't live this
I
long.
agree, but you're telling me they do.
And you have living proof under your roof.
Trapper.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Jokes aside, moving on.
All
What
right.
are we talking about now?
All right, so I named our section here that we're doing to round robin recommendations.
Oh,
That came to me this week.
that's
Round robin
that's
recommendations. Thank you.
clever. It's a triple R.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is a tricky thing for me to have to do this every week because, first of all, I don't really get a lot of time to watch TV.
But you got to
And
make
when
time.
I do, I'm watching whatever stupid crap Nina's watching, and I don't really get into it. I get on my phone and I play my games while she watches TV. So that's my defect. But anyway, I do want to say we're watching my daughter's girlfriend was telling me about Arcadia. Arcane. It is a animated series.
Anime.
It's like an animated series, but it's in English. And it's like
it's
a little bit
post-apocalyptic. The haves
and the
live
have-nots.
up above, and the have-nots live down below.
And of course, down below is toxic, and it's the slum, and up above is rich people in castles. All of a sudden, I guess apocalyptic. Oh my god, post-apocalyptic. Apocalyptic.
See, I'll give you that.
Apparently, we go back to kings and queens and courts and parliaments. Not exactly. But they were like royalty, right?
Yeah.
But it's
So we
got
go
a
back to the whole royalty
steampunk
thing.
Feel to it.
Oh
so
yeah, it's a steampunk vibe.
It's about science and magic.
Yeah, it's all the things. It's take all the things and jumble it up and then draw a cartoon about it.
Yeah.
Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah.
And what is this on?
It's on Netflix.
It's
It is on
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
And then the other thing that I've been watching, well, I binged it and I watched it already. And that was, I think, last weekend or something. Ginny and Georgia. Or is it Georgia and Ginny?
Georgia and Ginny.
I think it's Ginny and Georgia.
I don't know.
It might be Georgia and Ginny.
Yeah.
I think it's Georgia and Ginny. Anyway, it's like a kitschy kind of sitcom-y. Like, you remember the Housewives show with the Housewives show?
The Good Housewives.
Housewives of New Jersey, Housewives of New York.
Not the Bravo ones. The original prime time regular TV, like on Channel 4 or something. It was with, what's her face?
Yeah, The Good Housewives, I thought.
No, it wasn't called The Good Housewives. I think it was just called Housewives.
I don't know.
It's like 15 years ago, probably, when the Housewife, it was Ava Longoria was one of the stars, and I can't remember the redhead's name either, but she played the crazy one that kind of went mental. Well, anyway, that show started out kind of good. It was interesting, and it was like you don't know what to believe. You don't know if the mom's a murderer or if it's like happenstance, and it may look that way, but it's probably innocent. Well, that's kind of how Georgia and Ginny are, or Ginny and Georgia, whichever name comes first. I'm sorry, I can't even remember that much because that's how I watch TV. I only partially pay attention. But anyway, the first season of it, which was last year, it was kind of very much like the beginning of the Housewives show with Eva Longoria. Interesting enough. Desperate Housewives.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Been here searching my catalog in my brain.
Okay, so Desperate Housewives started out like an interesting sitcom, but then when it ended towards the end, it was very soap opera-y, like, not that this happened exactly, but this kind of lunacy happened where somebody got murdered, but then they came back to life, like that kind of stupid crap.
Okay.
Where it gets too soap opera-y.
Daytime soap opera.
Daytime soap opera effect. Well, Ginny and Georgia, or Georgia and Ginny, last year was kind of good, and it seemed happenstancy, and then she ends up that season getting arrested. So I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, because I do like the show. I watch it. I keep it on in the background when I'm playing my games, I should say. But AKA, I watch it. And I binged the whole season. So it's a really quick watch. I think each episode's only like 25 minutes or so. It's juicy. It makes you think. Because, like I said, there's murder involved in it, but there's also the possibility that it wasn't a murder. The whole season, you kind of go through, like, all the other possibilities and what it would be like if somebody got convicted for murder when they really didn't do it, or if somebody gets off when they really did murder. Like, as a watcher, how do you feel about that? Do you say that you like the show, or do you say that the show is too much because it leads you to believe how fucked up the legal system is? I don't know. It did. It made me think a lot.
Okay.
So that's the one I'm going to recommend. I say watch it. It's an easy binge. It's silly. It's not too serious, but at the same time, it's very thought-provoking.
Okay.
To see how you would feel about certain situations.
So it's Ginny and who?
Ginny and Georgia.
Or Georgia and Ginny. All right, Nina, what do you have?
Oh, well, I kind of thought we were in it together.
Oh, okay, we can do it.
I'm the one that's really watching Arcane, but I don't know why she really talked about it.
Okay.
So.
But you watch all of your documentaries. You don't want to tell them about any of your documentaries you watch?
Which documentary have I watched lately?
The one on parrots.
I haven't watched any documentary lately.
Oh,
that I can recall.
But she does like the documentaries. Any documentary, period. Watch it.
Watch it. They're all good.
If you have to.
All right, what do you have?
I have American Werewolf in London.
Uh-huh.
We did the story on
The
Guru.
Lou Guru.
Werewolf story from the 1700s in Detroit area.
Yep.
And both of us kind of were thinking about the American Werewolf in London movie as we did the story, so we had to watch it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was totally cool. I love it.
Classic.
1981 movie.
1981.
Best special effects, especially for its time. I believe Rick Baker did all the makeup. And
Rick Baker's cool.
Rick Baker is cool.
Yep.
And
all I can do in my brain now is Werewolf of London.
Yeah.
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 Has Nina not seen it?
I doubt it. She was one when it came out.
Oh.
No.
You guys ought to
But
check
if
it
we're
out.
talking old school movies, then I just recently watched The Never Ending Story.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I love that one. I watched it every weekend as a kid, I swear.
That is a good one. But you guys should definitely have movie night and watch American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is.
Is it?
It is.
An 80s movie.
It's an 80s movie, but it's so good.
Yeah.
I thought they remade that, though, like in the 2000s.
No,
I feel like
1997.
they did.
In 97, they did American Werewolf in Paris.
Which I've never seen.
It wasn't as good.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Stick with the original.
Stick with the original.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, I've got recommendation. Came across this last night when Todd and I were trying to find something to watch. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about this one. It's called Copycat with Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, and Dermot Mulroney. I like him.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that one? Where Sigourney, she plays like a criminal psychologist.
No, I haven't.
That one's from a long time ago, right?
This one is also from this is 1995, I want to say, which does seem like forever ago. Anyway, so the movie starts off with, Sigourney giving this lecture about serial killers. And I thought it was I love how she did it. So she asked all the men to stand up. And then she said, okay, if you're African American, sit down. If you're Asian, sit down. So basically all that was standing up were white men. And then she said, anybody younger than 20 and older than 40, sit down. And she's like, right here, take a good look around because this is your typical makeup of a serial killer. A man between 20 and 35,
A white man. Yep.
Yep, white, someone that looks like someone you've seen in a grocery store or in a library. This is your typical serial killer. And I was like, ooh, that's good. Because it went from everybody like, ooh la la, ooh, that one's cute. And then she's like, they could be the killers. So anyway, so that's kind of how it starts off. And then I'm not sure where the bathroom scene came into play, if it was just a break in the lecture series or what was going on. But police officer escorted her into the bathroom, because she's a high profile criminal psychologist and helps to put, these serial killers behind bars. So the cop's in there and he's looking around and he's like, is anybody in here? And he's looking under the stalls. And you see, it looks like a woman sitting down. All right, you got high heels and oh, okay, there's just someone going to the bathroom. Okay, you're good to go. So he walks out. She goes into the stall and she's over so gently putting toilet paper down on the seat and this and that. Well, then you start to see the red shoes, the red high heel shoes come off the person that was in the stall. It looks like a man's foot. And then pant legs. Well, there was a killer in that stall played by Harry Connick Jr. And he plays a good creepy guy.
He does a really good job, yeah.
He plays a really good creepy guy. So anyway, he has this wire noose that he strings up and he slings her up over her head. So she's hanging there by her neck. And then the cop ends up coming back in because he heard some ruckus. And he's like, what do I do? Shoot him, stab him. Stab him, shoot him. Well, I think I'll do both. So he murders this police officer right in front of her. I think another cop came in, and so she ended up, getting down and all that stuff. But of course, at this point, she's extremely traumatized, and she becomes a severe agoraphobic. She does not leave her apartment at all. There is a serial killer on the loose at this point. So Holly Hunter and Dermot Mulroney, they are detectives, and they end up coming to her to ask for help. And of course, she's having panic attacks and popping Xanax, and she's hyperventilating. But anyway, she finally does come around and she's like, yeah, let's do it. Because Holly Hunter spilled on purpose, all these crime scene photos. And that's what got her all worked up. So then, of course, when she mellows out, she starts looking at them. And so she's like, I'm in, come back, let's talk about it. So it's really cool because they have a copycat serial killer. And that copycat serial killer is doing murders from what Albert DeSalvo did The Hillside Strangler, David Berkowitz, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Ted Bundy. So he does each murder the same, poses them the same, the whole 9 yards, but then he sets his eyes on Sigourney Weaver. It's good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Definitely recommend it. If you guys want a suspenseful thriller, this is the one.
The thing I had...
Now that you recapped it, I do remember seeing that.
Okay.
But yeah, if Nina hasn't seen it, maybe we'll watch that again.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
The thing I had a problem was seeing Sigourney Weaver in a victim role because she's such a badass. I mean, she's been fighting aliens for years.
Yeah.
I mean, she's never a weak person in any role.
Right.
And to see her, she did a great job, but it was hard for me to see her as that kind of person because she's a badass.
Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was definitely a good movie. Anyway, so that one's on Netflix, so you guys should give that a watch. All right, well, that's our show for tonight. So thank you, everyone. Check out those movie recommendations. You're going to like them. So thank you, everyone, as always. And we will see you guys back on Friday for F-Bomb. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.